So what we're going to look at today is the hip escape from underneath mount. Really focus around that. So the first part of the hip escape is making sure that we get our legs in the right position. So you can see, like, when he's just got like a bulk standard mount position, he's got his feet tucked into the butt here, like nothing special. He's not hooking my legs. Hasn't crossed his legs. What I need to make sure I'm doing is getting the inside position on my partner. That has to be the first battle. I mean, obviously we can be doing like the frames. It has to be multitasking, right? We have to be getting sort of the frames on the hip so he doesn't just automatically come up into high mount. So getting some sort of frame on my partner's hip is going to be important, but the leg battle is the first battle. If I'm not winning the leg battle, then I'm not going to be getting out from underneath mount position. So he's got the inside position. You see where my feet are to the outside, his feet are to the inside. Basically what I need to do is get at least one of my feet to this inside position. So if he's just got like a normal mount, this can be relatively easy. If I'm flexible enough just to bring my foot to the inside here and just start pulling his leg out, already I've got the inside position here. If he's being a little bit more of a pain, I can use the second foot to kind of like push that out and bring my foot to the inside position. Then once I've got the inside position, what I'm going to look to do is straighten that leg so he's no longer able to get the hook underneath my leg. So it just stops him getting the inside position. I straighten the leg, he tries to bring his foot underneath and it's not there. But for me, this is still not the ideal position. What I want is to make those frames start turning slightly to the side so that now, you see what's just happened right there. When I make that slight movement, I turn to the side and I bring my knee above his ankle line. Now I can start to, without anything else, without bringing my foot over or anything, I can start to create pressure. And there's no way he's getting that foot underneath my knee. So if he tries to hook underneath it, it's just not happening anymore. And the further I move my leg out, the more likely that is to pop up over the top. Also, obviously using this as well, then we can start getting the hook and working for the hip escape. But for now, we're not going to do that. This is what I want you to get to. So he's got that inside position, and I need to get my inside position. Then I'm going to straighten the leg down. Then it's just going to be like a little hip movement. We're going to use the one foot for the hip movement. So we're not going to go bring our legs back in and try to shrimp, because now he can hook his leg back underneath. Once I've got the leg straight, it stays straight. My base foot goes down, little movement to the side, and my knee comes to the ankle. Once my knee's into the ankle, I can start moving it through underneath. If I want to use my second foot as well, and I'm just going to curl and keep that and almost like triangle up on my legs. So now if he tries to get his foot back or take it out, not dragging it over and being loose. So he can like just window wipe his leg out and bring it back into position. Tight, so when he tries to bring his leg out, like that leg's mine now. So have a go at that one. Also, if he's here and can cross his legs. Can you cross your legs? Okay, so if he crosses up his legs, then this becomes a whole new problem. We need to find the top foot. This has to be done kind of by feel. We're not going to be able to go, just move out of the way for a second. I'll have a little look down there and see which one it is. We're playing, we're still working the frames, and we're just finding where that top foot is. Where the top foot is, we're going to just start to use our foot, push that down, then bring that leg to the inside again, then that moves so we get the knee through. The last one, or main one, which they use, is the grapevines. So he sticks his legs into my knees. Yeah, this one. This one can be a real pain as well. So we can do this like one leg at a time, but you can also do this two legs at a time. So we're going to pull our legs in, turn our feet to the outside, and then we're going to kick and rotate through. So you put those grapevines in again, nice and tight. That's it. So we could kick off like the one, but the problem is he's still got this second one. We can use the second foot, push that down, step over. But if we can do both at the same time, he hooks them in. Instead of like straightening the legs with, we're going to pull our knees in, turn the feet out, kick, rotate, and we're going to bring one foot into my butt and bring the other foot over the top. Now if we try to get those grapevines back, super difficult for him. Whereas, do the same thing again, turn the feet out. If I kick and just do this, now he can refind. Now refind. Super difficult for him to do that. Then once I get the opportunity, if I want to, I can like step down, straighten the leg, move the hip, and again, we're trying to get that knee above the ankle line, scoop the foot, and for now, just get hold of the foot. The hip escape we'll get to in a second. What I want you to do is win that inside battle with your feet. Yes, there's like a perceived route to try to get there, but we all know what it's like in rolling. When we're rolling, nothing ever goes perfect. They're going to be retrying to pummel those legs. We're retrying to pummel the legs. Just try to win that battle. To start with, have your partner not do much. Just have some tension in the way that they're keeping their feet. Then, once you've had a couple of goes and you're happy, get your partner to retry to find those hooks and just be a bit more of a pain with the position. Okay? All right, find the inside position with your feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. The hip escape then. So let's just say we can assume that I've done all the right things as far as getting my knee to the right position, getting the inside position on my partner's legs. Now we need to make sure that our frame's in the right position. So my frame is across, shut up just for a second. My frame is across my partner's hips. Can you just put that knee down? As much as you can. Frame's across partner's hip, but not too far across. If I'm not managing this side of his hips, it's an easy transition for him to slide his knee up and start changing into like technical mount or S mount. So we have to have our forearm across the whole hip and not just partial hip. The second hand is going to frame in. We need to make sure that my elbow is to the inside of the knee. Not only is this going to help me to push and have some control over this leg, but it's going to stop him from being able to transition further up into the mount. So for example, if I've got my frame right here and my elbow wide, now it's a whole new world of problems. So we need to keep him down where my hips are. And also this is going to still allow me to get my knee to the position. If he climbs higher up, now like there's no way that I'm getting underneath that leg anymore. So framing is going to be super important. Arm across, hand over the top, elbow to the inside. Cannot stress how important that is. So we've just made our little transition. I'm starting to use my knee, starting to push out. You see his foot's already coming over the top. If we want to use the second leg, or if we need to, we can, and we're going to just drag and get to this position where we've got, it's like quarter guard position. Now the goal is to keep framing on the hip, using my elbow to push down and bringing my knee to my elbow. And what we're looking to do is get the knee fully inside. Once the knee's fully inside, make sure you keep a good pinch on the legs, and we're going to start making the transition to the other side. Lots of different options. We can just like play with a half guard. Maybe we can go for the underhook here. Maybe we can go into closed guard. But what I want you to get to today is bringing our knee through and getting to the knee shield position. One of my favorite positions to work from, one of my favorite guards to work from. Once we've got the knee shield across, hand's going to go onto the shoulder, elbow's going to go underneath. Nice active hook on this bottom leg, and then we're going to cover this crossface as well. Now we have like this bubble that I can work from. He can't get close to me. I've got to make sure he can't get crossface or get a hold of this gi here. So if he starts putting pressure through, he can't get any closer. I have this frame in position that's difficult for him. Lots of sweeps, underhooks, lots of different stuff we can work from there. So back to the mount. We do need his hands on the floor, by the way. If he's sitting up straight like this, he's too heavy on his legs. Little bump, pull him forwards. Frame, little turn to the side, get that knee in the right position. Once the knee's in the right position, we start to flare it out. The foot starts to come over, we hook it. Then we're going to use the elbow and the knee back into the half guard. Once you've got the half guard, keep the knees pinched. Or if you're a little scared of them escaping and backstepping out, we can also bring this leg over the top. So if you're frightened that you're just going to backstep out and go back into like a side control, then we can just bring this leg over and it traps it in. As we make the transition, then we bring the knee across, make the frame underneath, and we've got this nice secure position of the knee shield. So one more time. Pull our partner forwards, make the frames in the right position, make sure we get the inside position. Then we're going to drag over into half guard, move, and through into the knee shield. All right? Hip escape into knee shield position. 1, 2, 3. So let's go through the hip escape again. So we pull our partner forwards, we get all our frames in the right position, we get the inside position with our feet, And then we start to look for this. What you'll find often with this is he suddenly realizes that I'm going for the hip escape. So he goes like full weight into this far leg. He'll put his weight down into it, he'll get his foot solid. So when I'm trying to like come over and get that foot over the top, it's gonna be difficult. But he cannot, just put the knee on. He cannot put all the weight through that leg and not loosen this leg up. And if he doesn't put all the weight through that leg, then I'm just gonna be able to do the normal hip escape. So he puts all the weight through, I've still got the same frames, and I can feel on this far side that leg is slightly lighter. So I'm going to use the elbow into the hip, use the elbow on the inside of the knee, and I'm just going to start to shrink myself towards that leg. Nice powerful shrink so we get through the leg. We want to aim to keep his leg on our hip though. Can we reverse? What we don't want to do is like do a full shrink and shrink backwards when we're pulling our legs back and just sticking our butt out. Because all he's going to do is he's going to drop his weight through the legs and he's just going to end up like repassing and do whatever he does. Making sure that we stay in contact and moving into that leg now gives me a limb to immediately make contact with and put myself into some sort of guard. Whereas if I'm just lying flat with my legs together, it's going to be difficult. Once I've got to here, I'm going to bring the bottom knee through and then circle my other leg up and we get to this single leg X position. Now, some of you may be familiar with this, some of you not. All I can say is that this is a really good quality guard. Lots of great sweep options, leg lock options, and transitions to other types of guards as well. So whether you're familiar with it or not, this is a great way to get yourself into a good position, especially considering where we were in the first place, underneath our partner's mount. If you want to add sweeps into this, you can, but I'm happy if we just get into the single leg X for now. So, got the frame on. You start to move to the side, and he just really weights down on that leg on this side. When he puts his weight down, we keep the same frames. You see this elbow here? I'm going to give him a little punch in those free floating ribs. I'm going to base my feet to the floor, drive the hips back. Keeping those frames in so he's not able to bring himself and close that space. Then we're going to bring the knee through, foot goes onto the hip. Now that I have that ability, like worst case scenario, I just give him a boop and then we just scramble our way up to the top position. Put it in there today. See, he loves it, he loves it. Right, forwards. Turn into the hip escape. We're starting to go for it. He goes heavy on that leg. Use your frame. Shrimp. Create that space. And up into the single leg. All right, guys. Hip escape into escape to single leg X. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it.